This is the pre-market analysis of BBAI stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 1.4% negative move here, and it closed at $4.80, and it gave a breakdown of this support price. This was 4.85. This was the support level, and you can see from the last few trading session it was sustaining above this price. And in the previous trading session we have now got this breakdown here, and if you look at the pre-market price, that is also 4.83, which is below this support level. So in my view it should at least test this 4.54 now. This level should be tested next here, but in case if it opens above this 4.85 in today's trading session, like if it opens above this price and sustains this level, then 5.09 can be tested next. So these are the important levels for BBAI stock. This is the pre-market analysis of OPEN stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 1.1% up move here, and it closed at $6.11. And in the previous trading session it sustained above this support price, that was 5.95. This was the good support level. We have discussed this price in my previous video, and we can see that it has sustained above this price. And in the pre-market session also today the price is above this 5.95. That means it's sustaining again, and I'm expecting it to now test this level of $7. This level should be tested next now, and once we see a breakout of this $7, this 7.99 can be the next target. So these are the important levels for OPEN stock. In case if in today's trading session it doesn't hold above this 5.95 and we see this level getting breached today, and if we see a closing below this price, then 5.04 can again be tested. So these are the important levels for OPEN stock. This is the pre-market analysis of NIO stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 1.7% up move here, and it closed at $6.28. And in the previous trading session it sustained above this 5.96. This was the support level, and we saw this closing around 6.28. but in the pre-market session today the price is 5.97, so it's going to open around this support level today, and around this level we need to see what kind of price action forms, because this is a very crucial support level. If we see today this level getting breached downside, and also with that if we see a closing below this level, then there are very high chances that 5.61 can be tested next. This can be our next target then. But in case if the price sustains above this 5.96, as I told you, this is a good support level. So if this sustains and we see a closing above this price, then 6.47 can be the next target. So these are the important levels for NIO stocks. The pre-market analysis of BMNR stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 1.8% up move here, and it closed at $44.60. And few days back I gave you this level of $42. This was the support price I've told you, and around this level we have 50 EMA also. So this is giving a good support here. You can see how many times it has came to test this level, and it has always taken a support from this price. And in my view now it should at least come to this level of 49.48 in the coming few days. This level should be tested first, and then from this level if we see some rejection, then we can see some correction from this level. But in case if it manages to break above this 49.48 in the coming few days, we can see a good rally in this stock. So these are the important levels for BMNR stock. Downside I've given you this $42 as the good support level. If you see this level getting breached, then there are high chances 38.97 can be tested next. So this is my view on BMNR stock. This is the pre-market analysis of MSTR stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 0.4% negative move here, and it closed at $328. And you can see from the last few trading session it's sustaining above this 323, and it's acting as a very good support here. And now as we have got this good support for the downside, upside there's some resistance around this 336. Once it manages to break above this price and we see a closing above this level, then 349 can be our next target. But for that it needs to break above this $336, which I have told you that there's a strong resistance here. So these are the important levels for MSTR stock. Once the stock manages to break above 349, we can see further targets for the upside also. So this is my view on MSTR stock. This is the pre-market analysis of HIMS stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 3.7% negative move here, and it closed at $47.79. And in the previous trading session, it broke this 50 EMA that was around this 48.77. This was the 50 EMA, and it gave a closing below this price. But in the pre-market session today, you can see the price is 48.97. That is sustaining above this 50 EMA. So if we see a green candle forming here around this 50 EMA and the price sustains above this 48.77, then we can again look for this target of $52. But in case if the price doesn't sustain above this 48.77 today, and again we see a breakdown today of this level and the stock closes below this price, then 46.50 can be the next target. So these are the important levels for HIMS stock, and this is the pre-market analysis of SMCI stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 7.1% up move here, and it closed at $42.92, and closed around this resistance price that was 42.95. This was the strong resistance price, and it has managed to test this level now, this resistance price. From the last few trading session, it was consolidating around this whole range here, and I've told you in my previous video only that if we see a breakout of this level, then we can see a very good momentum for the upside. And in the previous trading session, it gave a very good move here, this big candle, big green candle, and if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 43.50. so it's going to open even above this resistance price today. If it opens above this price and manages to sustain this, and we see today's closing above this 42.95, if this kind of setup forms, and there are very high chances that 44.69 can also be tested next. So these are the important levels for SMCI stock. This is the pre-market analysis of SOUN on AI stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 2.8% negative move here, and it closed at $14.85. And in the previous trading session, it closed around this resistance level. It tested this 15.22 price and got rejected from this level and gave a closing below this price. And if you look at the pre-market price today, that is $15, which is also below this resistance here. So in today's trading session, if we see the stock breaking above this 15.22 and we see closing also above this price, if this kind of setup forms, we can look for this target of 16.50. This can be our next target, but as I told you, for that it needs to break above this 15.22 with a good momentum here. In case if the stock doesn't manages to break this price, like if it tests this price today and again gets rejected, then there are high chances that 14.47 can be tested next. This is the pre-market analysis of NVTS stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 2.6% up move here, and it closed at $5.76. And from the last few trading sessions, the stock was below this 5.69. It was getting rejected from this level. This was acting as the resistance here, but in the previous trading session, it managed to sustain this 5.69, and we saw a closing also above this price. And now I'm expecting it to test 5.98 on the upside. This level should be tested today, and once it manages to break above this 5.98 and we see a daily time frame closing above this level, if this kind of setup forms, we can see a good upside movement in this stock. Then the upside target for this stock can be this level of 6.47 if it breaks this 5.98 today. So these are the important levels for NVTS stock. This is the pre-market analysis of WULF stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 11.96% up move here, and it closed at $10.30. And in the previous trading session, it gave our target that we discussed few days back when the stock was taking good support around this 8.89. I've given you this 9.91 as the target, and in the previous trading session, it tested this level, gave our target, and even closed above this price. And now it's around this 10.79 in the pre-market. It's around this resistance here, so we need to see today what kind of price action forms around this level. Like if it tests this price 10.79 today, and after testing it, it gets rejected from this level, and we see a closing below this price today. If this kind of setup forms, 9.91 can be tested again here. But in case if it manages to break above this price, gives us a closing above 10.80, then we can see more upside movement in the stock. So this is my view on WULF stock. This is the pre-market analysis of AMD stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 2.9% up move here, and it closed at $155.82. And in the previous trading session, it sustained this $150 price, 150.44, and few days back I've given you this level. I've told you if we see a green candle forming here around this level, we can look for this target of 162.68. And in the previous trading session we got this green candle here around this level, and now you can see in the pre-market the price is already around this resistance of 162.68. so it can test this level today. If it manages to break above this price, gives a closing above this level, we can see 174 also next. But in case if it gets rejected from this 162.68 today and we see a closing below this price, and in the next trading session we see a red candle forming here around this resistance level, if this kind of setup forms, then we can see a pullback here to this level of 50 EMA, that is around this 157.65. so these are the important levels for AMD stock. This is the pre-market analysis of MBOT stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 14.4% negative move here, and it closed at $3.85. And in the previous trading session it tested this 4.13 price. It tried to even go above this level but couldn't sustain it, and we can see the closing below this 4.13 level. And if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 3.78. so it's going to open today below this 3.82 level, and if it opens below this price and starts going down on the downside, we have another support at 3.64. this level can be tested then. But in case if it manages to break above this 3.82 today and we see a closing above this price in today's trading session, then 4.13 can be again seen next. So this is my view on MBOT stock. This is the pre-market analysis of LCID stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 5.15 up move here, and it closed at $19.38, and it has given a breakout of this 19.29 resistance level. We have seen a closing above this level, but if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 19.18. so in the pre-market session today it's opening below this resistance here, and now we need to see in today's trading session what kind of price action forms around this level. If it manages to break above this 19.29 again today and gives a closing above this level, then $20 can be seen next. But in case if it gets rejected from this 19.29 and we see a red candle forming here around this level, if this kind of setup forms, then there are very high chances that we can see a pullback to this level of this $17.85. this can be the pullback level then. So this is my view on LCID stock. This is the pre-market analysis of GME stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 1.5% up move here, and it closed at $23.59. and in the previous trading session it gave a breakout of this 50 EMA, that was around this 23.39, and it tested this 23.54 resistance also and gave a closing above this level. And if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 25.54. so it's going to open today above both these resistances here, and if it opens above this price and sustains this, 25.76 can be tested next. And once it gives a breakout of this level, 26.22 can also be tested. But remember this thing, that if in case today it comes to in case if it comes to test this 25.76 and doesn't manages to break above this level, gets rejected from this price, then we can see a pullback to this level of $25.16. this can be tested then on the downside. So these are the important levels for GME stock, and this is the pre-market analysis of GSAT stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 2.7% negative move here, and it closed at $36.91. and in the previous trading session it tested this 36.10 price, tried to break below this level also, but got a good support here and closed above this price. And in the pre-market session today you can see the price is 36.28, which is above this support level. So it's trying to sustain above this support in the pre-market here, and if today we see a green candle forming here around this support level, we can look for this target of $38.03. this can be our next target then. But in case if we see the stock breaking below this 36.10 today, and we see also a closing below this price in today's trading session, then 34.63 can be the downside target. So these are the important levels for GSAT stock, and this is the pre-market analysis of RZLV stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session we saw 21.6% up move here, and it closed at $5.62. and in the previous trading session it gave a breakout of 5.21 resistance price. This was the strong resistance, and the stock has managed to close above this level. And in the pre-market session today you can see the price is 5.80. so in the pre-market session today it's already sustaining above this support level, and I'm expecting it to test 6.32 next now, because this is the next resistance level now, and this should be tested here. Once it will come to this 6.32 level, there are very high chances that we can see resistance from this level, and from this level it can take a pullback, and then if it breaks above this level, then further targets can be seen. So this is my view on RZLV stock. This is the pre-market analysis of NEO and stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 0.2% negative move here, and it closed at $4.84. This was the closing price, and the stock has sustained above this 4.47 level. This was the support level, and you can see that it even tried to go below this price, but got a good support here and gave a closing above this level. And in my view, it should test this 5.11 next now, since the price is sustaining above this 4.47. But in case if today it gives a breakdown of this 4.47 and doesn't sustain it, and we see a closing below this price, if this kind of setup forms, then there are very high chances that we can see some correction to this level of $3.80. This can be the downside target then. So these are the important levels for NEO and stock. This is the pre-market analysis of NXTT stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 1.7% negative move here, and it closed at $0.14. And you can see from the last few trading sessions, the stock is in downtrend here. The stock is making lower highs and lower lows, and it keeps on falling here. You can see that it's making this kind of pattern here, and today the pre-market price is around this 0.14, which is around this support level here. So if today this level gets breached downside this 0.13, and we see a closing below this level, then more correction can be seen. But if you're looking for good upside movement in this stock, or maybe some change of trend here, so it needs to break above this 0.22, or I should say this 0.23. This level should get breached on the upside, then only we can see some change in trend here, because this 0.22 0.23 level has now become a very strong resistance here. So in my view, it should break below this 0.13 here, and after breaking it, if it gives a closing below this price, then a more correction can be seen next. So this is my view on NXTT stock, and this is the pre-market analysis of AVAV stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 2.5% negative move here, and it closed at $230. And in the previous trading session, it closed around this support price, that was 229.44. This was a good support level, and it has sustained above this price. And if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 237. So it's going to open around this resistance 239.95. If you're looking for good upside movement in this stock now, then this price must break on the upside, this $240 level. If it breaks and we see the stock gives a closing above this level, then 254.59 can be the next target. So these are the important levels for AVAV stock. But in case if it gets rejected from this 240 level today, this 240 price, if we see rejection from this level today again, then 230 can be seen on the downside. So this is my view on AVAV stock. This is the pre-market analysis of FCEL stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 22.7% up move here, and it closed at $5.18. And in the previous trading session, it gave a breakout of this 4.96 level. This was the resistance price, and it has given a breakout of this level and also gave a closing above this price. And if you look at the pre-market price today, that is 5.13. So in the pre-market session also, it's sustaining above this 4.96 level, and in my view now it should come to this level of 5.96 here. This should be the next target here for the upside, and there are very high chances that once it will test this level, we can see some rejection from this price and can take a pullback from this level. So this is my view on FCEL stock. This is the pre-market analysis of IREN stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 15.2% up move here, and it closed at $30.19. And it has given a breakout of this 30.06 in the previous trading session. This was the resistance price. It has managed to give a closing above this level, and in the pre-market session also today, you can see the price is 31.05. So it's going to open above this level today, and if in today's trading session we see this level sustaining here 30.06, and if we see a closing also above this price today, then we can see further upside movement in this stock. But in case if it comes to retest this price 30.06 today and doesn't sustain it and gives a breakdown of this level, then we can see a pullback in this stock. But in my view, it should sustain above this level now, and we can see further targets for the upside. So this is my view on IREN stock, and this is the pre-market analysis of OCTO stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 10.8% negative move here, and it closed at $40.17. And in the previous trading session, it tested this 47.19 resistance price but got rejected from this level and gave a closing around this 39.36 support level. This was the support price here. And in the pre-market session today, the price is 36.51, which is also below this support level, and I'm expecting some downside movement here. It can correct to this level of uh, $32 level. It can correct to this $32, and if it sustains this $32 price, then from this level again this 39.36 can be tested. But remember this thing, that this $32 is a crucial support level. Now if we see the stock going below this price, and with that, if it gives a closing also below this level today, below $32, then we can expect some major correction ahead in the stock. So this is my view on OCTO, and this is the pre-market analysis of TLRY stock. Let's discuss what could happen today. In the previous trading session, we saw 1.7% up move here, and it closed at $1.14. And few days back, the stock gave a breakdown of this 1.24 support level. This was a crucial support level, and in this candle it gave a breakdown, and since then I'm expecting this target of 1.03 on the downside. This level should be tested next now, and this target is still intact. We can see this level getting tested in the coming few days. Now if you're looking for upside movement in this stock, then it must break up of this 1.24 level, then only we can see some good up moves here, or maybe we can get a good entry around this 1.03 for the upside, because once it will test this 1.03, there are very high chances that it can take a support from this level and can again try to go up. So these are the important levels for TLRY stock. I hope you find this information valuable, and if you do, then please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.